Hello everybody, I hope you are doing well. We are in the last week of the month of April, my birthday week. Thursday is my birthday, and on that note, we're going to have a very special Think Outside the Box Thursday, a birthday edition. It will also be our last Think Outside the Box Thursday of the year, so look for that on Thursday. I may post it tomorrow evening, you're watching this on Wednesday. Today I'm filming, it's Tuesday. Anyway, you may get it on Wednesday, but I'm working on a very special Think Outside the Box Thursday, birthday edition, our final Think Outside the Box Thursday of the year. Quick little running update, as I told y'all at the first of the month. I set a personal goal to get my Platinum 100-mile badge for the month of April. Again, today is Tuesday the 28th. As of right now, I have 93 miles logged for the month, so I have 2 days, and 7 miles to go. So I should be able to knock off my platinum badge Thursday morning. I hope you are all doing well. I hope you got the notification that they're working on some stuff for you seniors, graduation, and if I'm not mistaken, something about prom. Anyway, be watching for emails from Dr. Harris if you haven't already gotten some. I know there's going to be a drive-through graduation in May, scheduled right now, again, tentatively scheduled, and then a regular graduation ceremony later on in the summer. So hopefully those will be good opportunities for us to see each other again before we all go off out into the big world. You juniors, of course, I will see all of y'all next year, whether you're in my classes or not. I'll make sure I say hey to you in the hall. I hope you find today's lesson enjoyable. Thank you. We're going to be starting molar mass today, which is the first part of our section on the mathematics of chemical equations. We touched on this just a little bit before we left. I know it's been a while since we've been out, but we touched on this a little bit before we left school, so hopefully it won't be too difficult for you. To do this stuff with molar mass, you're going to need two things. You're going to need a calculator, and you're going to need a copy of the periodic table. I've posted another copy of the periodic table along with this video link, so you can either open it on your device, or hopefully you can print it, or you can get access to one just by going to the internet and typing in the word periodic table. Molar mass is basically the mass of 1 mole of a substance. Now, if you remember from before we left, a mole is just a number. It's 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd, so it's a big number. But when we talk about the molar mass, we're talking about 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd molecules of the substance and how much that weighs. So again, that particular fact, the 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd, not super important to, you need to memorize that number, of course, that's a mole, but not super important. We won't be doing any calculations with that in this class. When you look at the periodic table, the molar mass is this number right here on the periodic table. For most periodic tables, it's the number on the bottom. Sometimes you will find some weirdos that put it on the top, but all the periodic tables that I have that number on the bottom. And so when we look at silver, the molar mass of silver is 107.9 grams. The molar mass of carbon, 12.01 grams, and the molar mass of sulfur, 32.07. Now, some periodic tables may have slightly different numbers. Don't freak out. They round things just a little bit differently, and so it is not a big deal. Now, when you take a look at a problem like this, if I want to know what's the molar mass for each of the elements below, so I have what's the molar mass of 1 mole of potassium, what's the molar mass of 1 mole of tin. Well, first thing I need to do is I need to pull out good old trusty periodic table here. Well, we look at the periodic table, we find potassium is over here. Here's potassium. There's potassium. And when we look, we find potassium's right there, and we see 39.10. And when we do tin, we look around on the periodic table, and we find tin is right here. There's tin, and 118.7. And so those are your answers, 39.1
and 118.7. Both those numbers came, as you can see from right here, from the periodic table. So any of the elements that I find, nitrogen right here, 14.01, cobalt, 58.93. Over here on the right, argon, 39.95. Way over here on the left, hydrogen, 1.01. All you've got to do is look, I'm right down here on tungsten right now. All you got to do is look at that bottom number right there, and that is the molar mass. So as I'm going along the bottom here, you can see me underlining all these molar masses. Super, super, super easy to do. So you shouldn't have any trouble with that. Let's take a look at the molar mass of a compound now. Now let's take a look here first. Now we have calcium chloride, CaCl2. The first thing you need to realize is when we look at this, this 2 right here only applies to the chlorine. So if I were looking at calcium chloride, I would have 1 calcium and 2 chlorides. So when I look on the periodic table and find calcium, I see that it's 40.1 and chloride is 35.5. That's for one of these things is 40.1 for calcium. So I have one, so it would be 40.1. But for chlorine, I have 2 of them, so I have to multiply that by 2 to give me 71. So taking a look, I've organized this a little bit for you on a, get out of there. Organize this for you on a little bit of a table. And you can see that calcium, there's 1 calcium. There are 2 chlorines. So I just take 1 times 40.1 gives me 40.1. 2 times 35.5 gives me 71. Add these 2 numbers together, and so the total molar mass for calcium chloride is 111.1 grams. 111.1 grams. Now we're going to do the molar mass of K3PO4. Well, what's the first thing you need to realize? Well, this 3 goes with the K. How many P's are there? How many phosphorus? What do you think? Well, there's no number down here. No number. So if there's no number, it's understood to be a 1. So that means there's 1 phosphorus. 1 phosphorus. And how many oxygens? 4 oxygens. So we look at this one, we have 3 potassium, 1 phosphorus, and 4 oxygens. So when we look on the periodic table, we get the numbers. And again, I've organized this for you as a table. I don't know why that keeps doing that. And we look, we have 3 potassiums. So that's 3 times 39.1 gives me 117.3. 1 phosphorus, that's 31. So that's 31. And 4 oxygens, so I multiply 4 times 16 is 64. You add these 3 things together. We add those together, and we end up with a total molar mass of 212.3 grams. 212.3 grams. Anytime we're looking at a problem, we simply add up the components, and we get the total molar mass. This is just, if we were in class, I would pull these sort of things out for you just to show you when you look at molar masses of different substances about how much volume they actually take up. This is a mole of sulfur, it's 32.1 grams. A mole of iron is 55.9 grams. Notice it's smaller than a mole of sulfur because iron is way denser. Mole of sodium chloride, table salt. And then we have some other larger compounds that you can see, they take up much more volume. So again, if we were in class, we could bring out some examples and show them to you, but you can see them pretty well right here in these pictures. Now, here we go. A couple problems I want you to work. What is the molar mass of A and B? On your video acknowledgement form, you can answer these 2 questions, and they'll count as a bonus 5 points each if you get these 2 molar masses correct. I hope you understand what we've done today. If not, send me an email or a message on Remind, and we'll pick up right here on Friday. Thank you.